students. So this video is for class 5 social science. So this is the continuation of the previous video. So we have already started with the chapter that is natural disaster. So this is the continuation. Okay. So in the previous video we have discussed about the various disasters. Okay. We have discussed about the earthquake, right? And now let's discuss about the flood. Okay. So filled with water. Okay, it's partially filled with water. And if you keep on pouring water inside this glass, what you'll see after a few minutes, you'll find the glass, which if you keep on pouring the water will spill out here and there. Okay, got it? Then same happens with the flood also, right? So here, there is a continuous rainfall in the river, the water, okay, the river cannot hold the excessive amount of the water which has gained from the rainfall. So it starts to flow, it starts to overflow to the dry region, to the dry land. Okay, so that occurrence is called your flood. So flood is a natural event which occurs when piece of land which is dry suddenly gets submerged under water. Okay, so that is your flood, right? So now you can check the picture. This is the occurrence of flood. So flood may be very danger for the human also. It may damages the property of a human, plus it may take the life of the people also, right? So every year there is an occurrence of flood in our country, isn't it? More than 150 people are they will going to lose their life because of the flood. Okay, so this flood, after it is over, it will going to give an outbreak of a disease like malaria and cholera. Okay, so this epidemic might spread the most part of the country. Okay, got it? So that is the flood. So there are some of the causes. So causes of the flood, here is the list I have written. First is rainfall. So due to excessive rainfall, there will be the occurrence of the flood, right? So which I have already explained, isn't it? Next, capacity of the water. So it depends upon the capacity of the river also, how much they can hold the water. Next, weather condition. So it depends upon the weather condition of the region. Okay, got it? Next, ground cover or rock structure. So even the ground cover or the structure of whatever the rocks which are present, okay, in the below in that region, okay, how much they can absorb the water. Okay, got it? If the rocks, if the soil or the rocks, they can have a they can absorb high amount of water, then there will be a less occurrence of flood. Okay, next, a topography or a landform. Okay, so mostly the flood will be going to occur in the area of the plain, isn't it? Not in the hills region. Really, not even really, we are going to find the flood in the plain areas, okay, rather than hills. Next, tsunami. Whenever there will be the occurrence of tsunami, you're going to find the occurrence of flood also. Next, dam failure. If the dam is damaged or destroyed, there will be the occurrence of flood in the region. Then tides. If there is a high tide, right, then there will be occurrence of flood. And last one is due to melting of glacier. So due to the melting of glacier, there will be a high amount of water found, isn't it? And there will be occurrence of flood, right? So here are some measures to take. Okay, first is elevated areas should be identified, and one should figure out how to reach these areas in case of emergency. So we have to find an area which is slightly or which is much higher than compared to the areas, okay, or the surrounding areas. So we have to go to the areas where it is high. Okay, suppose there is a chances of occurrence of flood in this region. This is the plain regions. Okay, so we should find the area which is higher than compared to this region. So obviously this is the area, isn't this the hill regions? So we have to move towards the high region so that we can be safe from the flood, right? Next, in flood prone areas, an emergency kit containing strong ropes for tying types things, a radio or torch and spare batteries, stocks of fresh water and food supply should be kept handy. So in the areas, okay, where there is a regular occurrence of flood, okay, in those regions, this all things should be kept, okay. All the electrical appliances in the house should be switched off and unplugged during flood. So any kind of electrical appliances is there in your house, like for example fridge, your rice cooker, okay, your TV, those all the things has to be switched off, okay, beforehand, so that there will be no any kind of accident occurred, okay. So next, in flood prone areas, all the dams should be checked and maintained on regular basis. So in a region, okay, where there is a regular occurrence of flood, so in those regions the dams should be checked and maintained regularly, right. More trees should be planted along river banks to control the flow of water. So more plantation has to be done along the bank of river, so that if there is occurrence of flood also, then the trees can stop, or they can prevent the flow of water, right. Factor is your droughts. So droughts occurs, okay, when a particular area do not receive rainfall for a long period, and which leads to the shortage of water in that region. Then we say, okay, then it is said that that area is been affected by the droughts, okay. So whenever there is an occurrence of drought, then there will be a shortage of food first, okay, there will be a shortage of food. Then if there is a shortage of food in those regions, then obviously the people will die due to starvation, okay, hunger and all, okay, got it. So because of the droughts, so many people are being dead every year, okay, in the most part of the world, okay. So it is also called as famine also, right. So now what are the causes? So the causes of droughts: first one is no or less rainfall for a long period, leading to water scarcity. Yes, if any region doesn't receive rainfall for a long time, okay, or if there is no rainfall or very less amount of rainfall, then there will be a problem of water, isn't it? So that leads to the occurrence of drought. Next, deforestation too leads to scarcity of rainfall. If there is a continuous cutting of trees in the region, then obviously there will be no plant, and no plants means no water, no rainfall, right. So these are the two causes of droughts. So some of the safety measures we have to take during the droughts. First is more number of trees should be planted. If you plant more number of trees, okay, then there will be a chances of rainfall. Next, rainwater harvesting should be adopted in drought-prone areas. So in these drought-prone regions, okay, we have to practice rain harvesting. We have to collect, we have to collect more water during a rainfall, okay, so that we can resist the drought, okay. Next, drought-resistant crops such as millet and maize should be cultivated. So you have to grow the crops which can resist the drought, okay, like for example millets and maize. Another factor is your cyclone. So cyclone is a storm accompanied by a very strong wind, okay, and with a great speed and with heavy rainfall. So this cyclone also causes a tremendous damage to the life of people, property and the nature also, right. So this cyclone mostly occurs in the region of coastal areas, okay. In India, cyclone mostly occurs in the coastal region of Tamil Nadu, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Maharashtra and Gujarat, right. Are caused, okay, how it is been caused? It is caused due to a strong warm wind originated in the sea or a ocean, okay. So it moves with a great speed, with a high velocity, and it destroys whatever comes on its path, okay. So recently Amphan cyclone was been occurred in our country, right. So it has destroyed a huge property and there was a great loss of life in our country. So here are certain measures we have to take for our safety. First one is, if a warming for okay, so if a warning for cyclone has been issued, people should listen to the television or radio for further updates. So if there is occurrence, okay, already meteorologists will warn us that there will be a cyclone occurred in this region. Yes, so before that only we have to continuously listening the new updates and all. Okay, then the shortest and fastest roads to be reached, the safe shelters should be identified. So you have to find out the area, okay, which is very very near to the safe shelters, right? So you have to find out the way, okay, shortest way on the fastest way to reach the safe shelter. Then people living in cyclone prone areas should always have an emergency kit ready. So the region, okay, the region where there is a continuous occurrence of cyclone, then in those region there the people should always should carry kits which are required in any kind of emergency. Then next, last one is people should not venture in or near oceans and seas if a warning for cyclone has been issued. So if already meteorologist has warned that there will be a kind of occurrence of cyclone in the coastal region, then we should not go or we should not visit those areas. Okay, this is all about this chapter, natural disaster. Hope you have understand. Please do the home assignment. Thank you.